I know that Mr. Lee has talked supportively of vouchers. I don't know what specific proposals he's made. I'm opposed to vouchers, and I'll tell you why. You know, I think education, I don't think anyone would argue that Tennessee puts too much money into public education. I don't think we do. And I'm not saying that we spend money wildly and without thought. You always got to be very specific about what you're trying to do and very conscious about saving the taxpayers' money. But what is different about vouchers is that it as opposed to public charter schools, a voucher will take money out of public education and put it into a private system. And that could be religious schools, that could be private schools, and whatever is created. And that removes money that goes out of public education, free education, and puts it somewhere else. And that weakens public education. And further, to me, is sort of going down a road where if you say that if you're not using public education, then you shouldn't pay for it. I mean, you know, the premise in the United States has always been that public education is everybody's responsibility. So, you know, my kids are now out of college, and hopefully they maybe go on to school. Who knows? But I'm done with paying for K through 12. But I still feel that it's appropriate that I pay taxes, that money goes to public education. And, and I think most people who don't have kids or who have kids who are out of school now agree with that. And I think the whole idea of the voucher system works against that. And I also think for rural and small town Tennessee, that can be a huge challenge if there are vouchers. I mean, you have you only have a few schools. And then all of a sudden, if you're creating private schools that are competing with them and diverting public money there, the system becomes overburdened and can't support the public schools any longer. So that's the source of my opposition to that, and it's strong opposition.
Yeah. All right. So this is an important question. It's important in Williamson County as well. Even though we're a wealthy county, there are policemen and teachers who cannot afford to live here. And so someone said, what can be done on the state level to provide affordable housing?
I think the state has an affordable housing component where I think we can do more there to help communities around the state address this issue. And this issue, I mean, Nashville is sort of the poster boy for affordable housing right now, but I mean, it's all over the state. I mean, I know it's here in Williamson County. It's a big issue up in East Tennessee and Sevierville and Gatlinburg and those areas. I mean, it's an enormous issue, and it's an issue that's growing in importance in Memphis, everywhere. And so I think the state's going to have to play a more active role, and it's an issue that people will be looking to the state for guidance and help.
I'm going to flip us back to education since we talked about that a little bit. What can or will you do if you're elected governor to better our public schools?
Well, I think you've got number one, what the governor can do more than anything else is, and I think we've had two good governors in a row. I think Bill Haslam and Phil Bredesen. I give them a lot of credit for being very focused on education. I think the governor can say this is our priority, and the governor can talk about it, and the governor can help with financing, that it should be a budgetary priority. And we should be willing to look at ways constantly to improve education. I am not satisfied with the status quo. I would say that that we've got to continually improve. We've got to see progress, and so I think the state can help with that. I think we need to be in a position where programs such as the Tennessee Promise, Reconnect, we look at ways to increase those, and we look at ways to actually do more with 4-year funding too. I think that's important. I'm a big believer that we ought to be doing pre-K across the state.